Introduction to factoring. Factoring can sound like a tough and ominous word, but it's not that hard once you get into it. Let's start by first defining what factoring is. First things first, what are factors? According to Google, it is a number or quantity that when multiplied with another produces a given number or expression. Basically, it is a number or variable that when multiplied with another number or variable creates a new number or variable that can be a polynomial, monomial, or a number. Here's an example. Let's take the number 8, nice and even and symmetrical. Now let's think. What multiplies to become the number 8? 8 can be divided by 2. 2 multiplied by 4 makes 8. Therefore, 2 and 4 are factors of 8. In a monomial such as 4x to the power of 2, y to the power of 4, a factor could be 2x, y to the power of 2. Now, let's move on to factoring. Factoring is finding the factors of something. It can factor all sorts of things such as numbers, monomials, polynomials, quadratics, and many more. In this video, we will cover finding factors of numbers and factoring polynomials. One of my favorite ways of finding factors for numbers is using the rainbow method. Let's use 8 for this example. We will always start with the smallest number, 1. What multiplied with 1 is 8? It is 8. So, we will put the 1 on the left end and 8 on the right end. Then, we will move on to the next number, 2. From here onwards, we need to see if our product can be divided by the number at hand. So can 8 be divided by 2 without a remainder? Yes. What does it equal? 4. Then, we'll move on to the next number. If our product cannot be divided equally by the number at hand, move on to the next number until you reach 8. You get the idea. Here is another example. Next, we are going to factor polynomials. When factoring polynomials, you need to be able to factor numbers quickly, while being able to know what variables multiplied will lead to the desired product. Remember that exponents play a big role in factoring polynomials. Keep in mind that, for example, y multiplied by y equals to y to the power of 3. Now, let's solve an example question. Let's take this one. Here, we need to factor the polynomial 4y plus 6. We need to have the greatest common factor of 4y and 6. In this case, it is 2. So, we will divide this polynomial by 2. We get 2y plus 3. Then, we will put the answer in parentheses and multiply it by 2. However, we know that we can remove multiplication signs in a polynomial. Therefore, we have 2 parentheses, 2y plus 3 parentheses. Now let's try a harder one. Here we have 8x to the power of 2y to the power of 4z minus 12x to the power of 3y to the power of 5. To make this process easier for ourselves, we're going to factor out the greatest common factor of the coefficients here. The greatest common factor of 8 and 12 is 4, so we have 4 parentheses 2x to the power of 2y to the power of 4z minus 3x to the power of 3y to the power of 5 parentheses. Next, we will take the variables. When we have exponents here, we are always going to take the smaller of the two same variables and factor that out. Let's take x first. We have x to the power of 2 and x to the power of 3. Since x to the power of 2 is smaller in value, we will factor that out. Then we have 4x to the power of 2 parentheses 2y to the power of 4z minus 3xy to the power of 5. We still have an x left inside the parentheses, as x to the power of 3 divided by x to the power of 2 is x. We will do the same for y. Next, we have z left in the equation, but we only have one z. Therefore, we just leave it alone. And that's it. You just learned how to factor polynomials and numbers in this video. Have a great day and see you again.